All right, let's talk about one of the toughest and most important parts of teaching today, classroom management. We're going to break down a modern playbook that really works. Let's get right into it.
This is a truth every teacher feels deep down. The classroom you're standing in today, with all its technology and its unique students, it is a totally different universe than it was just a few years ago. And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If the entire landscape of the classroom has evolved so dramatically, then our strategies for leading it have to evolve too.
So before we could even start talking about a new playbook, we have to get the lay of the land. We have to understand the new realities of the modern classroom. And spoiler alert, it's more complex than ever.
You know these challenges firsthand, I'm sure. We're fighting for attention against a constant stream of notifications. We're part-time IT support, fixing tech on the fly. We're juggling a massive range of student needs, and all of that is on top of things like the digital divide and just general teacher burnout. The old methods just weren't designed for this.
So the solution isn't just a new set of rules to hang on the wall. No, it's much bigger than that. It's a fundamental shift in our entire philosophy and our whole approach to what classroom management even is. The heart of this shift is moving away from that old-school top-down model of control and demanding compliance. Instead, we're moving towards something totally different. It's about fostering student agency, giving them ownership. It's about building real, genuine relationships. And maybe most importantly, it's about being proactive, so we're shaping the environment instead of just reacting to problems.
Okay, so how do we make a big idea like that actually practical? Well, we can break it all down into a 5-part framework. A good way to think about it is like a new toolkit for your classroom, where every tool works together.
First up, proactive strategies. The core concept here is so simple, but it is incredibly powerful. It is always more effective to prevent a problem from happening in the first place than it is to react to it after the fact.
This is all about setting the stage for success. It means having just a few clear, positive rules. It means creating routines that are so predictable they become automatic. It means using things like digital badges to celebrate effort and growth. You're literally designing a calm, efficient environment from the ground up.
Now, this proactive mindset flows right into our second component, digital integration. Look, technology is here to stay, so the goal isn't to constantly fight a losing battle against it, but to learn how to harness it thoughtfully.
This is all about setting crystal clear boundaries. Simple systems can be game changers, like a phone parking lot or a red, yellow, green light system for device usage. But here's the really crucial part. We have to explicitly teach digital citizenship. We have to show students how to be safe, responsible, and kind online. Our third component, restorative practices, is a huge mental shift for many teachers. This is all about moving discipline away from a focus on punishment and toward a focus on repairing harm and rebuilding the community.
So instead of asking, what rule did you break, the question becomes, who was affected by what you did, and what do we need to do to make things right? When you use tools like community circles and restorative chats, you're teaching real-life skills like empathy and accountability, not just obedience.
And that whole idea of building community and empathy, well, it leads us perfectly into our fourth component, cultural responsiveness. This is about intentionally creating an inclusive classroom where every single student feels seen, feels valued, and feels understood. And this is way more than just awareness. It's about taking action. It means purposefully weaving diverse voices and materials into your curriculum. It means understanding that communication styles aren't universal. And it means building real, authentic partnerships with families that honor their backgrounds. And that brings us to our final component, which is really the glue that holds all the others together, social emotional learning, or SEL. This is all about developing the essential life skills that help students thrive, not just in school, but in life.
It focuses on teaching 5 core skills: self-awareness, which is knowing your emotions; self-management, or controlling those emotions; social awareness, which is really about empathy; relationship skills, so you can cooperate and communicate; and of course, responsible decision-making. These aren't just soft skills, they are critical abilities that have to be taught just like any academic subject.
And the results? They're undeniable. The research shows that schools with strong, well-integrated SEL programs see a massive drop in disciplinary issues. We're talking up to 46% fewer. It directly creates a more positive, manageable learning environment for everyone. But that kind of impact doesn't just happen by magic.
It happens when you have a plan. So we have the framework, the big ideas. Now, how do we actually put it into practice?
Here's the key. Do not try to do everything all at once. Start small. First, assess your classroom. What are your biggest challenges? Then, just pick 2 or 3 new strategies to focus on. Implement them consistently, day in and day out. Monitor what's working and what's not, and then refine your approach. It's a continuous cycle of improvement.
But you have to remember, this is not a quick fix. The research on this is very clear. You need to implement these strategies consistently for at least 6 to 8 weeks before you can expect to see real, lasting change. So patience and persistence, they are everything.
So, when you start to put all these interconnected pieces together, what does it all add up to? Well, it's a vision for a classroom that isn't just being managed, but one that is truly reimagined for the 21st century.
Because ultimately, this is the real goal. It's not about getting a perfectly silent, compliant room. It's about creating a balanced environment that is positive, productive, and inclusive, a place where every single student truly has a chance to thrive.
And that really brings us to our final thought. As you think about this entire framework, try not to feel overwhelmed. Instead, just ask yourself this one simple question. Which one of these 5 components, if you started working on it today, could begin to transform your classroom first?